We now know the charges filed against the Fort Stewart soldier accused of opening fire on his fellow troops last week. Authorities say one of the victims was someone he had a relationship with.
WSAV's Christine Quayle breaks down the charges and what's next for Sergeant Cornelius Radford as he faces the justice system in the military.
Yes, Tina, Ben. So now the charges have been preferred against Sergeant Cornelius Radford for allegedly shooting at 6 people and injuring 5. He'll face a criminal proceeding governed by the U.S. military because they are the ones bringing the charges. So here's what that could look like. For several days, Sergeant Cornelius Radford, the alleged Fort Stewart shooter, was held at the Liberty County Jail. Tuesday, the Army Office of Special Trial Counsel presented their charges in a pretrial confinement review, officially starting the process that could lead to a conviction. We talked to a former JAG officer at Fort Stewart for some context.
Preferral is like the very first step, the first charging, if you will. And I know this gentleman happens to be in pretrial confinement, so they generally will prefer charges relatively quickly. And I know today there was a hearing that they had concerning his continued confinement. And from there, that's sort of ancillary, if you will, to the actual preferral and referral of charging process. They will have a proceeding pursuant to the Article 32 of the Uniform Code of Military Justice. At that hearing, it's run by a neutral officer who makes some determinations as to whether there's probable cause, sufficient cause to move forward with any or all of the charges.
Those charges include premeditated murder, multiple charges of aggravated assault, and domestic violence against the victim, who was reportedly an intimate partner of Radford's.
If it gets referred to a general court martial, it will then get placed in the hands of the court, and the accused, just like in civilian court, can have a jury hear his case. They call it a military panel. You can also just have a judge alone hear the case. Everybody gets to kind of strike members of a panel. If there's individuals that you believe you have cause to show why they should not be on the military panel. Perhaps they knew the soldier. Perhaps they somehow knew one of the victims, for example. They can be excused from the panel.
And Radford is now being transferred to the Naval Consolidated Brig Charleston at Joint Base Charleston for the remainder of his pretrial confinement while these proceedings take place. Christine Quayle, WSAV News 3, on your side.